How you doing? This is Patrick Hulne here on assignment for Rugby Wrap-Up. And I'll tell you right now, folks, this is something else. I mean, do you think we're playing in Seattle? No, we're not. We're in Utah. And look at how crazy this is. But we will be back live here, or not live. I'm sorry, I can't say that either, Matt. But we're on assignment.
Next on this week's College Rugby Wrap-Up, women's and men's college rugby soup to nuts and the New York Seven. Rugby Wrap-Up brought to you in part by Sheehy Auto Stores. It's easy at Sheehy. Box for Grow, the future of cannabis farming. We box you in to increase your yield and profit. The Pig and Whistle, the world's best rugby pub. And Lean and Limber, stretching your way to a healthier lifestyle. Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's College Rugby Wrap-Up. Matt McCarthy and Colby Marshall. Colby with the only two of our compadre, the only two of the staff, I should say, here working this week. The other two slackers, you got Zach Lanning, who loves to load trucks and drive to Maine, apparently, and you got the other guy, Josh Ressio, slacking in Italy.
Yeah, I don't know what these dudes are doing, but the beat goes on. I think Josh might be eating pizza and playing soccer in Italy. But we're here. We're going to do the show. We're going to keep it going.
We're keeping it going. And I think he could probably play soccer and eat pizza at the same time in Italy, because soccer is soccer after all, and it's hands-free, right?
I played for many years. I'm not letting you trash soccer like that.
You're one of those. I get it. Okay, no problem. We'll move on. But actually, in fairness, Zach did do half of his job. He usually does his stuff on camera, but then also makes us all look good in the edit. He's not going to be editing this week, but he did do an excellent report on women's rugby. Let's go to that.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I'm real sorry I couldn't be with you this week, but I did do half my job. I did watch some rugby and research the rugby. And I will say to anybody watching, don't ever move, ever. Just stay where you are. If you live somewhere currently, don't ever leave that place. And if you have to, just burn everything to the ground that you won't. But I am super excited, even throughout this whole move, because we have championship weekend coming up on the women's side. It has me all aflutter. This is going to be such a great weekend of rugby. We have some great matchups. We'll dive right into that. On the NCR D1 side of things, you're going to have number 1 Northern Iowa taking on Notre Dame College in that semifinal match in Knoxville on December 4th and 5th. Notre Dame College rolled Colgate in the previous matchup 57-10, and Northern Iowa beat upstart Wisconsin Eau Claire 66-7. So Northern Iowa continues to roll along. In the other semifinal matchup, you'll have number 3 Marquette, who beat number 2 ranked Grand Valley State, who was expected to win that one, versus Life University. Life University yet to surrender a point in these playoffs in the NCR side of things. They shut out Clemson 55-0 this week. So in that tournament, I'm expecting a finals matchup of that young Life University versus that Northern Iowa side. And I expect Northern Iowa to prevail in that one. I think it'll be very close, though, and I think Life has a pretty good shot at that. Now, on the small college side of things, we have number 3 Lee University, who will be taking on number 6 SUNY Cortland. SUNY Cortland upset number 2 Endicott College to get where they are. And then number 16 Northern Michigan, who are kind of the dark horse of this one, Matt. They upset number 7 MSU Moorhead to get in. They'll be taking on, as a present for their success, they'll be taking on number 1 Wayne State College. Coach Darren Barner has built a really solid program out there on both the men's and women's side. So look for Wayne State College to prevail in the small college championship. And again, all those NCR's tournaments are in Knoxville this coming weekend. Then just to wrap things up, I wanted to mention the CRAA D1 championships. That's going to be a huge matchup between Davenport and Navy. Davenport, again, just had a rip-roaring season, coached in part by scrum half on the USA Women's Eagles squad, Olivia Ortiz. They are looking to take down a Navy side that's had a good solid run this season as well. And always, they're always kind of a powerhouse in women's rugby. So that'll be a really interesting matchup again this weekend. Just so much great rugby to look forward to. And I encourage everyone to tune in for those matches.
Another stellar report from our man, Zach. But Colby, we got action between 2 teams out of the Red River Conference. What do we got?
Yeah, over in the Red River Men's D1A Conference, we're going to see Texas A&M play Baylor this weekend. Should be a really good game. Player to watch on Baylor is Michael Hand. He actually leads the entire conference in points, conversions, and tries. So he's definitely a player to watch in that game. I'm going with the Baylor Bears. I think they're going to pull this one out.
I completely disagree with you. I'm going with the Aggies. Any team that plays in Texas with the name Texas in it, I got a soft spot for. I don't know why, so don't ask me, but I'm going with the Aggies, and I'm going to give you 4 points. And I'm just looking at these points scored differentials. You got points fielded by the Aggies, 164. They've only let up 26 points. Baylor is also 3-0 in the conference. They've fielded 136 points, but they've allowed 71. I like my Aggies. I like my chances.
Yeah, I just think when you have two teams that are evenly matched in this way, the team with the better player, with the most skilled player, is likely going to come out on top. And it seems like Michael Hand is one of the best players in not only, between these two teams, but in the entire conference. So I got to go with the Bears.
All right. Fair enough. We got a little something going on there all of a sudden, right? Then we got another match. We got Oklahoma. And who's Oklahoma playing? North Texas?
They're playing North Texas. And that's a game between, I guess, two Stugats, you could say. 0-3 squads, both looking for their first wins. But, North Texas has the edge, little edge, plus 18 in points for. So I expect them to come out on top in this game.
Fans in North Texas and Oklahoma frantically searching the internet to try to figure out what Stugats means. It's a New York area kind of thing, ladies and gentlemen. But it would mean kind of like they're at the bottom of the table right now. Both teams 0-3. But each of these teams has let up a ton of points. I'm doing the math here. A lot more points allowed than fielded. I think it's going to be an offensive fireworks display. So it could be exciting rugby to watch, despite the fact that both teams are 0-3. I got to go with North Texas in this one.
I'm with you. I'm going with North Texas. They got, they've scored 54 points on the season. Oklahoma's only scored 32. I think that they're going to get the first win of the season. I'm going with the Texas squad.
All right. We're in agreement. And nobody's picking a draw, I see.
Nah, these two teams aren't going to draw. They give up too many points, sort of like your Sevens club over the weekend.
Whoa. At least I showed up. We're foreshadowing, ladies and gentlemen, for a segment we're going to add about New York Sevens later on. But we're going to take a quick break, and Colby is going to walk us through NCR action. We'll be right back. If you're in New York City and want to watch some great rugby, have some great food, and some great times, go to the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street.
Been blind since I was 4. And I've never seen a beer commercial or a beer label. None of that stuff influences me. I drink beer because of the taste. And my beer's Pabst Blue Ribbon. It has the taste and the flavor.
What do you think's on the label?
I think there's a naked woman riding on a unicorn, jumping over fire. Oh, that's good beer.
Need a great price on a new vehicle? Sheehy makes it easy. Easy Price shows you our lowest prices on the Mid-Atlantic's largest selection. Find your best price online or at any of our 31 dealerships.
It's easy at Sheehy. Sheehy.com.
We're in New York City and you're watching Rugby Wrap-Up.
And we are back. Matt McCarthy in New York City, Colby Marshall in New Jersey, Zach Lanning, MIA in Maine or somewhere between there in New Jersey, driving, and Josh Ressio doing whatever he wants in Italy. I think he was in Milan today, right, Colby?
Yeah, I'm kind of mad he didn't take me with him. I've always wanted to go to Italy. I'm Italian, 5% Italian. So how you doing? Right, exactly.
No, that's why you could throw out Stugats. How you doing? All right. Colby, why don't you tell us about all things men's rugby in the NCR, National Collegiate Rugby?
Yeah, some big, exciting matchups to look forward to this weekend. One is going to be Penn State against Queens. Penn State escaped with that close win over Brown, and they'll be facing a tough Queens team that are very much capable of pulling off the upset. I can't wait for that game. And then we got the battle of the heavyweights between Kutztown and St. Bonaventure. Kutztown have been battling injuries, but seem to have their full team ready to go. They showed up against Iona, put in a great performance. Doc Jones said, we're going to surprise a lot of people with the lineup that we're going to throw out there. On the other hand, St. Bonaventure have had a really great year, but I just don't think they've seen the quality that the Kutztown team led by Doc Jones has. When you think about the likes of a Thorne O'Connell at fly half, Aaron Gray, what he brings out of the backfield, we saw what he did in the New York City Sevens tournament this past weekend, slicing and dicing. And then Benedict Quinn as well, who had a huge day. The freshman fullback had 2 tries against Iona. They just have a lot of firepower, and I expect them to come out on top this weekend.
I love the fact that the kid's a fullback and he's a freshman and had that big game against Iona. But I think you may have jinxed your Iona Gales because you gave locker room fodder to Doc Jones and his squad going into that match ahead of time. That's just my theory. But also getting back to Tui Osborne's St. Bonaventure, I saw him at the New York Sevens, and he was a little bit miffed that we're dismissing his team's chances in this match. So I'm switching gears, Tui. I'm back in Bonaventure, baby. Right here. It's not far from University of Buffalo. So indirectly, when Bonaventure wins, University of Buffalo wins. How about them apples?
Man, you just can't take the loss for Buffalo. That's okay. That's okay, though.
When you're bald, you're bitter. You're automatically bitter. So now I'm bitter bald about Buffalo. There's 3 B's going on there. All right, give us the D1AA stuff that's going on.
Yeah, this weekend we'll also see the D1AA Men's Championship. This is a matchup that a lot of people aren't talking about. Tennessee going up against Bowling Green. Tennessee beat Clemson 26-17 to win the SCRC conference. And this is a battle between 2 teams. Even though they're in the D1AA conference, they can very well be in the same conversation as the likes of a Kutztown and Penn State. So I'm very excited to see this game. And I think the winner will be pinned one of the best college club teams in all of the country.
Where's Gifte Belu when you need him weighing on this one? We got D2 as well, right?
Yeah, the D2 Men's Championship is this weekend as well. We'll see Montana State go up against Auburn. Montana State are the reigning Rocky Mountain Conference champions, while Auburn won their respective conference as well. So that'll be a great game to follow this weekend.
You got to love rugby because it's the only time you get Montana State versus Auburn, completely different worlds playing against each other in a championship, right?
For real, like you're not going to see that matchup in college football.
You got 2 chances, Slim and none, and Slim's on the golf course for that happening in football. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Colby, that allows us to segue to New York Sevens just because we can. You didn't show up. What were you were fraidy cat. You were scared of me.
That's fair enough, Matt. I didn't show up. You know, I had some things going on. Probably shouldn't have went out the night before. It's kind of set me up for a rough morning, but there will be future tournaments. And I think we'll be able to cross paths to really see, you know, who's superior. Because I know that everybody knows that, you know, I'd kick your ass, but
it's easy from your couch at home. Okay. That's what I said to Steve Lewis, who has video of me allegedly coming in from the side at a breakdown. I distinctly recall in my head making sure that I wouldn't go in from the side. His video says something differently. He says, I don't agree with him.
North-south! North-south! McCarthy in from the side.
There was no call, but we did get handed our asses in 2 matches. And then we found out after the fact that there was a super social division. We're in social. We should have been in the super social. My own club assassinated us right on the spot. I'm facing off against like the likes of a Stephen Wallier, who's basically my nephew, and his scrum half. There's a scrum down in midfield, right? So he's alone on one side, and I go cover him. His scrum half, in his infinite wisdom, doesn't take advantage of that, and he goes the other way.
You're counting your blessings at that point.
I'm like, whew. But then Steven said to me, while we're trash talking, while we're lining up, he goes, I'm going to run right at you. I go, you do me a favor if you run right at me, because then I got a shot at getting him, right? But it was a fun day, great day, and we have some scenes here from the New York Sevens for your viewing pleasure.
I'm Stephen Wallier with Elysium Rugby. We just beat Matt McCarthy's team's ass, and you're watching Rugby Wrap Up.
I'm Grayson Perry. I'm at New York Rugby Sevens, and I got a nose for the ball. Let's go. Done.
Sorry you missed it, aren't you?
No, I am a little salty I missed it. I heard it was a great time, but I can't wait to get back out on the pitch and get some more rugby under my belt. It's been a while since I've been out there, so looking forward to getting back in it.
Well, you got a shot at going against me again next year, because there's no way I can leave that as my final rugby performance, because I was absolutely awful. It was the worst rugby I've ever played in my life. And I've played some really bad rugby. And Colby, a lot of current and former college stars at the New York Sevens, including your boy John Powers, he of late of the Utah Warriors, and of course, an Iona Gale.
Yeah, John Powers was there with the likes of DeMonte Noble and Kyle Granby. Roots Rugby Club put in a great performance. Aaron Gray did his thing. So really exciting stuff over the weekend in NYC Sevens.
Final thoughts on the week in rugby, Colby?
So I'm just wondering how much you paid the referee to not call you for going in from the side.
I one up that. Wallier was breaking for a try all by himself. I ran off the sidelines and tried to catch him, but at that point, my hamstring had me running stiff-legged, and I was the eighth man. But the referee kind of looked the other way, and he scored anyway.
I respect the hustle.
Thank you. And cheating. Cheating and hustle will get you far in life.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Those are the words to take home with you, all you college students out there watching this week's College Rugby Wrap-Up. Cheating and hustling will get you far in life. On that note, I want to thank Mr. Colby Marshall, Mr. Zach Lanning, and Mr. Josh Ressio, who did absolutely nothing this week, for their input. And thank you for tuning in. Please tell your friends. Please join our newsletter. And please check out our other segments. Go Bonnies and go Aggies.